If you are above the age of 60, we expect you to have more information, more knowledge. In short, you should be a library of information whereby young people will just come to you and learn. And if you are above the age of 60, we expect you to be caring. We expect you to have a listening skill, because as you grow, that's when you have to develop a listening skill. Because I remember back then when I was young, I didn't have a listening skill. I wanted to talk all the time. But as I grew up, I started developing this skill of like listening more, the ability to listen more. In other words, you become willing to listen to other people more. In other words, you talk less. This is what we expect that's what we expect from all people. In other words, they should listen to what people are saying, what their community is saying, what their society is saying, but not with these old people, especially here in Africa. Then you ask yourself, what is going on? But again, I've come to realize that when you are young and you are greedy, you are full of hatred, you don't care, sometimes even when you are old, you become like that. In other words, your characteristics or your character doesn't change. But we expect that when you grow, sometimes you need to learn from your mistakes, to say, when I was young, I used to be greedy, I used to beat people around, I used to do all sorts of things, I used to sleep around, but now I'm old. In other words, I have to teach these younger ones how to live a good life. But these old men and old women, but I don't want to focus on old women. I just want to focus on old men. The leadership is very poor. Greediness is on another level. Again, if you go to the world, or maybe if we go to other countries and other continents in the world, we have old people again who are causing problems. In other words, they make sure that they give you sleepless nights. This is what they do. This is what they do because they are also greedy. They are hungry for power. They don't like peace. They only talk about peace, but when it comes to acting,